Broth sounds really good to me right now. Doesn't
that
sound good?
to wash down those donuts.
Just some broth and donuts for lunch today.
It's donut day.
Welcome to Expo World.
I know we just wanted to keep the Newtopia Now vibes going with any random combination of foods that you could.
Yes.
This is The Naturalist. In every episode, we're covering the products, ideas, and trends that are shaping the CPG industry.
Or that we just really like.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Lots of random. I love like the end of the show when I can just like walk around the show floor and just see all of the products.
There were so many cool brands. And I mean, we talked about this before, obviously, around 50% first-time exhibitors.
Yeah.
But also so many brands that I had never seen before.
Oh, so many. Yeah.
I think is pretty amazing.
Yeah, because we've seen
a lot. We've been around the block. Let's just put it that way. Not our first rodeo. Although I will say that I was on stage with Brody Burke for the Sprouts Forager team.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're talking about the next season innovation. It's like, we see like 2,000 products a year for the next season. He said, well, we see 8,000 products a year. Had to one-up me, Brody.
What is that, like SNL, like the one-upper? Do you remember that? Yeah, no, we all see a lot of products, but I did feel like the retailers were saying the same thing. Yeah. Like, gosh, I have not seen these companies before. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
I have to say, I've already broken Dr. Gabrielle Lyon's like maid rule, which is like, she talks about neutrality, like not getting like too high or too low. And I feel like at Newtopia, I was so high. And then this weekend, I was so crashed big time. But how can you not, right? Like, how can you not ride that wave?
So that you're talking about the keynote that was on Thursday. I actually missed it because my panel was right after that. And I was, busy cramming. But I'm excited because we have a great article and you can actually watch the keynote video on newhope.com this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So you'll hear it. And mainly it was about protein strength and particularly focused on women and women's health. So really, really great keynote. And our other keynote, Michael Costello, was awesome as well. So
he's the CEO of GNC.
Yes. Yeah. Thanks.
Fancy.
There you go. Fancy. So we were like, what do we talk about today? Right. We have so much to talk about. We missed you in our last episode on the show floor.
I love those show floor recaps.
Oh, it was fun. Right, Maddie? It was fun. Yeah, we all had fun. So we kind of did we just talked about whatever we felt like talking about, basically. So no different.
I was going to say, as opposed to normally.
Yeah, wait a second. That sounds familiar. But today we wanted to get a little more focused because we did see so many great products and so many great brands that we're going to have fodder for months, right? Like we have so much. But we thought Beverages, beverage galore. We know everyone loves beverages because sometimes we do a beverage episode and you all seem to love it. But really, there was so much beverage innovation. We were sipping away. So
should we kick off with broth since we already mentioned broth?
And you did a little broth today. Just a little. Yeah, there's a little nip in the air.
So lots of cool broth brands at Newtopia Now. I am really sad I didn't get to try the Two River mushroom broth because I thought that sounded incredible with lion's mane, shiitake. Did they also have a chaga one, or am I making that up?
No, they did have a chaga one because have you ever seen chaga?
Oh, is that the flat one?
It's the one that grows on the tree.
Yeah.
And it's crazy looking because the founder of the company, who's a mushroom harvester.
Yes.
Cultivator.
Yes.
He was like, look up this mushroom. So Bill and I are looking up and we're like, oh my God. He's like, yeah, you're not going to believe it. But yeah, so they had, it was incredible. And he pulls the lid off of the the thermos it was in. And it was just so aromatic. It smelled so good, so nourishing. And I think that is plant-based and mushroom-based broths are the new thing as opposed to just bone broth, right?
Now, I would be remiss not to bring this up because Meredith and I have had quite a few debates about this. Broth, beverage or food? I say food. She says beverage.
I say beverage.
Great start to this episode. All right. For the sake of this episode, beverage.
Okay, let's go beverage for this. Yeah, otherwise we would have to just remove that whole portion of our beverage episode.
And did you see there was another brand? I think the name is Gabi.
I don't know if I saw
and
that.
they do sipping broths, but they're caffeinated. So the idea is like instead of drinking a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, you have a cup of tomato soup broth.
Great idea.
With caffeine in it.
Yeah, I really like that. So another savory. So lots of these savory broths and functional benefits. And then the other one that we really liked was Mala Girl powdered broths. And they have all of these unique flavors. One was the Soulful Classic Superfood Broth, which was like a vegan chicken flavor. Another one was, again, seeing mushrooms pop up. So mushrooms still everywhere in food, beverage, and supplements, but really fun to see mushrooms in those broths. What was this one?
So this is called Gabi, Gobbi.
Oh.
And they call it a savory energy drink.
That's a great idea.
Just add water. So they're powders, but look, they have tomato with caffeine and L-theanine, greens. So I thought that's just a really interesting concept.
I could see sipping that in the morning.
Yeah, I'd have a sip of some.
And that was at Newtopia?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see them. Yeah, so definitely this next generation of broths. I like all of them.
Yeah. And a Crush, of course, we've mentioned before. Those are the kind of really focused on sports.
Yes.
And it's bone broth in a powder in a stick pack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
another great one. So that's something I haven't, I mean, we were talking earlier, we're like, were there any surprises, like things that we weren't expecting? And I think we were expecting a lot of innovation in beverages, but like innovation in broth, I didn't see it coming.
I'm on board.
I'm on board too. Okay. Next trend, of course, hydration.
Yes.
We talk about.
Oh, should I have a sip of water too, just to really drive that point home?
Quick break. You have to do that. So hydration, but hydration with benefits. So it's not just enough to have electrolytes. We saw lots of different products that had a range of other benefits, whether it be gut health or really being packed with antioxidants. So it's just kind of leveling up. Like, what are they going to do next? And how do you compete in that hydration category? I don't know.
Well, we had some great examples.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about Farmwell, which was, of course, one of our Nexty finalists that we chose at Newtopia Now. Very cool, farmer-owned brand. They use aronia berry. They're organic. And they're really looking at that antioxidant hydration piece.
Yeah. And I mean, I haven't seen like a farmer-owned hydration brand.
Yeah.
Like of all the categories to go into, that does actually feel like a big differentiator. They're USDA organic.
Yeah.
If you go on their website, they talk about how they're investing in regenerative farming practices. So I think that's cool and different. And because they're growing their ingredients, they talk about the nutrient density in that product as well.
And each beverage is just a handful of ingredients. I mean, they're super clean, real juice, real everything.
Real? Yeah, we like real.
Yeah, we like real. What else have we got? Well, we're keeping it real. Oh, sorry. Were you going to hydrate again?
I was.
I can talk.
I thought we
keep talking.
Going.
So saltwater super clean hydration. So I didn't try this one, but I wish I had because you know me. I love me some salt.
Yes.
So it features ancient Kalahari salt. Sounds delicious.
It does sound delicious and like really just leaning into that natural source of electrolytes. So I'd be on board with that. Yeah.
And just like on a little side note, I thought it was interesting. We saw like a fiber water.
Yeah.
Just a couple of like different twists that I wasn't expecting.
And the protein water. I mean, maybe we could talk about that for a second because like I'm going to jump around a little bit. Do you mind?
Not at all.
So protein everywhere.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing we've established as a thing. Specifically, and this product doesn't necessarily demonstrate this, but lots of conversations around women and protein and the importance of getting enough, women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond. And so that's been a big conversation on and off the show floor at Newtopia. But this one product caught, I think, all of our attention separately. We were all like, tried it and thought it was interesting. But the Clean Simple Eats protein soda water, it's like a soda water. So the protein water, but the bottom line is clear protein. Yeah. So you don't have to have like thick smoothie or a bar to get your protein, but really just a water. We were talking earlier in our meeting that I've seen this kind of mainstream trend in Costco. There's a sparkling water that has a lot of protein, but the difference here is that we're seeing companies focused on sustainable whey protein. This company in particular, Clean Simple Eats, talks about grass-fed, ultra-filtered whey, so getting that really clean, pure whey, and then just having a really easy way to get it. So as we're drinking our beverages here, we can also be getting protein. So I think it's interesting and just another application of protein.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited to try it because I have tried every single way I can think of to make shakes in the morning or smoothies. Every way. And my daughter says every time I take a sip, I'm like, it's okay, I'll drink.
Oh, yeah.
But I really love the idea of a powder that just kind of dissolves and doesn't have any flavor.
I think it's pretty universally appealing, right? Yeah. So protein, we expect to see a lot more of that. And we kind of put this in this innovative functional formats. We also had that Fermenteria company, which is a water kefir.
Yeah.
And that's another kind of really interesting format and just something that I think is really palatable. So that's a probiotic rich alternative to kombucha and really that kefir water. So milder flavor, kind of a gentler consistency, And I am going to give a shout out, since you mentioned kombucha, to that company called Remember, RMBR. Oh, yeah.
You see, they have really beautiful butterflies.
Oh, their packaging is gorgeous.
Beautiful packaging, but they had really interesting flavor profiles too. I think one was a lavender, and it is a traditional kombucha. Well, it is a kombucha, but I would say the flavors were a lot milder, not quite that traditional kombucha in your face, which can be great.
Yeah, if you love it. Yeah. But if you don't, you're out.
But I thought it was really interesting that it was kind of a gentler, more drinkable kombucha.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought them up too because of the packaging, because we were talking earlier too as our content team was going through all of the trends, and we'll bring this up in future episodes, but just this joyful, bright, vibrant packaging. And who doesn't love butterflies?
Oh, who doesn't?
So what were some of the other trends that we saw?
Well, we talked a little bit about, you mentioned nutrient dense. And so one of the things that there was a lot of buzz about, and I'm going to go back to, is it a food, is it a beverage, is the liquid salad.
Yes. The liquid salad everyone was talking about. It was a liquid salad.
It was a pouch.
That's what's really cool about it. Shelf stable. So they were saying take it camping, take it on a hike. It's super convenient. So convenient, healthier products, definitely seeing a ton of that in the natural and organic and conscious products industry. But I think really focusing on that nutrient density piece. So to have a convenient food that's not just a bar, which of course we've seen a gazillion bars over the years, but this was pretty novel and some people really, really loved the taste. I actually didn't try it, so.
Well, I've heard different opinions because I didn't get a chance to try it either, but I've heard people were super excited about it. But one of the things that was kind of up for debate is that apparently it's very sweet because it has stevia in it. So liquid salad, I'd love to see a non-stevia version. Oh, just for me.
Yeah,
if that's cool.
Because I don't but you'd say that across the board about any product.
I would say that across the board, but because I like savory things, I think when you go to try something called salad, I think it maybe was kind of a.
Yes, unless it's a fruit salad.
But I did hear great things about it, and the nutritional profile was really excellent. Lots of fiber.
People loved it, and it was different. Yes,
very different.
So wellness ritual beverages.
You love the wellness ritual.
I do, because I think it just really represents that unique space between beauty and wellness and food and beverage. But there were a lot of companies that just I walked over and I just felt like I was in a nice, a spa, serene place. And they're just leaning into that wellness positioning. Whole Harmony has wellness tonics and balancing teas and elixirs. And I think some of them, I believe we talked about this on our last podcast a little bit, but had crystal infusions. So they're really kind of leaning into that hardcore dark green natural thing. But you said retailers were talking about it too, right?
Especially the loose leaf teas. Those are USDA organic. and there was an immune supporting tea, I think, builder's tea, and that was the one. That was the word in the retail street.
And they had elderberry elixirs and elderberry
stuff.
What's thicker than an elixir, but not as thick as a syrup?
Cordial?
Oh, I don't think it was that, but it should be.
I just had to get that out of my Anne of Green Gables archive.
Totally nailed it.
Anyone knows about the raspberry cordial incident? Anyway.
Botanical lucidity.
Yes, another Nexty finalist. Yep. Sorry.
No.
You know I got so excited there.
Yeah.
And it's actually a supplement brand. I mean, it's got a supplement facts panel, but I would really put it in the beverage category for those really rich, tasty elixir infusions. And are they a powder or a paste?
I think a paste.
I think it's a paste.
Yeah, and you just
mix it with water.
And then a little bit of your own sweetener, so you could put honey in if you wanted to. But I was drawn to, they had like a peace potion, which is a relaxation one. I think they had their version of a golden milk.
There's radiance as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So these really targeted blends that use ingredients like rose petal and lavender and passion flower, and each one has a unique herbal blend. So I really liked that in that mood supplement and mood beverage category. And finally, Australian Beneficial was just like this little company that we found, and they had a sticky chai.
Tell me about sticky chai.
Well, it's a sticky chai. And
like sticky on your fingers?
Yeah, so it actually is like, it has sweetener in there. I'm not sure what it was. If it's honey, we need to look up the ingredients, but it's so how you prepare it is a little bit different, more similar to that like botanical lucidity process of kind of mixing it with a water or with a milk of your choice. But it was just like a really kind of rich and comforting chai tea that our team really, really liked.
Ooh,
yeah, let's see what's
really good. Yeah, let's see really quick. Sticky chai. Honey. Tasmanian leatherwood honey.
Yes.
Yum.
Yeah. And fresh ginger, vanilla bean, a unique blend of spices. They're growing a lot of their spices and a lot of their botanicals on their farms in Australia. And
they're hand blended in Colorado. So they import the ingredients, the spices, and then blend them here.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think she was based in Aspen. So.
All right. What else? We've got cola. Oh, I skipped one. Innovative functional format. So we did talk a little bit about the protein water. The fiber water was really interesting. We had a little debate on our team because it supposedly tastes like regular water, but it's just got a really high fiber content. And one person said water all the way. One person said didn't taste like water.
Oh.
We're going to let them duke it out at the next team meeting.
What did the other person say it tasted like?
I don't know. I didn't get into it. It felt
like it tastes like fiber. I taste that fiber in there.
But yes, so functional formats, just lots of really cool things. We also saw, speaking of functional, I don't know, is this one on your list? Adaptogens, mushrooms. There was a really cool brand that I loved called Sequel, another local Colorado brand. And they use mushrooms. They're sparkling beverages, super clean ingredient list. And what I loved so much about this brand is that they put the amount of mushrooms right on the can. So they had 1,000 milligrams of lion's mane in one of them. Another one was turkey tail, 1,000 milligrams. Another one was a combination of chaga and lion's mane. So I just thought that was so much integrity.
Yes.
And I just loved what they were doing. Very cool.
And that is interesting with mushrooms in particular. We're seeing them in products like the broths, where it's like, that's just kind of like a real food, like that I think is the trend there, but then also seeing in truly functional products where, like you're saying, it's important to quantify the ingredients. Right. So mushrooms are very versatile, but I think it's important for brands to think about the, intended benefit and positioning, and then do their marketing and labeling accordingly.
And really the flavor profiles, you would think like, oh, this has got 1,000 milligrams of turkey tail. Like, I wonder if it has a really strong flavor. The flavor profiles were very soft, very gentle again, just very subtle and very delicious.
So to be able to have those high quantities, but still have it be really delicious. Because Michael Costello of GNC during his keynote talked about how he's seeing a lot of mushrooms, but maybe hasn't seen that one kind of breakthrough company, at least from a supplement standpoint. So that's so interesting to us because we've been talking about mushrooms for a long time and see so many products, but from a mainstream supplement retailer saying like, oh, we still haven't quite gotten that one company. So I think all these companies are kind of, putting themselves out there to be the next big thing for this category, or maybe the first big thing, according to Michael. What say you?
I say, let's do it.
Okay. Cola, the new cola.
Love some cola.
You came to me and you were like, oh, this malt soda was so good.
I love Browsa. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
Also Nexi finalist, but they have 3 products. And if you were at the show, you might have seen they're just incredibly beautiful, minimalist design.
So minimalist.
Like a can, it says malt soda.
And it's like brown and black. And
green. It's so pretty. And the ingredient list is super short. So they have an apple soda, malt soda, and then a malt beer that's non-alcoholic. They're all sweetened with dates, organic dates. The founder is German, but her family's from Tunisia. Oh. And so the dates come from her Tunisian heritage. And then it's like a typical kind of German soda. So they use Bavarian wheat that I asked her about. And she said it's from this family, this Czech family that's been growing it for 200 years. And then the organic apples and organic date syrup.
Yum.
So tasty.
So simple.
Oh, and so good.
We actually went by their booth and they weren't there. And one of our colleagues was like, do you think it'd be okay if I poured one myself? And tried it. And it was very delicious.
Yeah, so good.
And then there's that Good Dirt cola. It's a chaga cola. So Good Dirt is focused on prebiotics. So a prebiotic soda. We've seen that before, but thought their positioning was really unique. And then blending in these other functional ingredients like chaga mushrooms. And they're talking about these sodas as having gut and brain health benefits, and cute company that seemed to also be getting a lot of attention.
And I think they did some of, I think they had some other sweeteners in there, but they did also use dates, I think, which I think is such a great, especially with colas. I think dates do really well in colas because they got that kind of flavor.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. That kind of like a richness to them. Yeah, I like that. We were talking about across the whole beverage category, are companies using stevia? Are they using real sugar, or like white sugar? And we're kind of seeing everything across the board. So I'll be interested to see where that goes. And fruit sweeteners, I'm probably partial to the fruit sweeteners, although I don't mind stevia, and I'll have white sugar in moderation. So I think that there's just a lot of different directions, and knowing that consumers have so many different preferences around sweeteners. So it's kind of a hard thing to navigate for brands.
The only one that I think, I feel like the use of erythritol has really dropped since there was kind of something a couple of years ago came out about erythritol. And I'm not seeing, remember when allulose kind of exploded on the scene?
Yes.
It was everywhere for a little bit, but I feel like it's really dropped off. And I wonder if part of the reason is that Whole Foods has still not accepted allulose as an ingredient. Right. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. I don't know.
That's funny that you bring that up, because I did see one company, and I don't remember which company it was, but on the front of did you see this? On the front of their package, they said with allulose. Like they were like touting it as something like to be proud of. And then in another panel, they were talking about how Whole Foods still hasn't accepted it. So interesting. And monk fruit is another one that I'm seeing, I think, a little bit more of. But so there's all these kind of, they ebb and flow.
They ebb and flow.
Yeah. So, okay, we had so many. This is honestly not even all of them, but I think it's a pretty good representation of some of our favorites. Do you have, of all those, what's your pick? Like, what are you going to double down on?
Okay, let's ask this. What are you going to go buy at the store?
Okay, great.
I'm going to go buy some Browsa. I'm going to buy all the flavors. I'm going to drink them all the time. And you know me, I am, I don't buy a lot of RTD beverages.
Yeah.
But I just love them.
You know me, like that's part of your identity. You know me, my ready to drink beverages. I didn't know that. That's like, I was out to dinner with another coworker of ours, and she was like, I have tried, and a good friend of mine who I go out to dinner with a lot. She's like, I have tried bread pudding in every city I've ever visited. And I'm like, I've known you for 10 years and I've never seen you eat bread pudding. It's like one of those things. Like, am I supposed
to? Who you're talking about? Yeah, so I'm going to go for browse and broth, the mushroom broth.
I'm going for the...
maybe bread pudding.
Bread pudding, just throwing that up. Two River Mushroom Broth, that's the company.
Yeah.
They were also the retailer choice winner.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we asked our retailers in the market, which is the area in the front of the show floor that has every company gets one product in the market. They got their one product. We asked our retailers to vote, and they were the winner, one of the two winners. So I am with all those retailers. I will buy that product. It was so rich, so delicious, nutrient dense. I just love it. And I'm excited to try the Farbwell antioxidant hydration.
It's really yummy.
Yeah, so
very good.
These are all great, but those maybe are the ones
I'm excited to try that clear protein powder too.
Yeah. Well,
I'll keep you posted.
Keep me posted.
Let's go get some bread pudding.
Let's do it.
With our donuts from this morning. Let's go.
Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Please rate, subscribe. Much more to come about Newtopia Now. And please do share your favorite beverages from Newtopia.
We want to hear.
Yeah.